Hello and welcome to this week's Play Stupid Games, Win Stupid Prizes. And I'm saying that as if I've ever said that before, ever, on this channel. But, so this is kind of something that I've been watching kind of unfold for the past week. And yesterday we got the update that something had actually happened. So I'm sure some of you noticed, maybe some of you just didn't pay any attention to this or it didn't flip across your radar, but there was a video circulating and then a handful of copycat videos circulating of a teenage girl going to a Walmart, that we know is now a Walmart, opening a tub of ice cream, licking it, and then sealing it and putting it back in the fridge before running away with friends. And of course, this was all filmed and put on social media because there is nothing that teenagers, and honestly, a lot of adults, won't do for attention and popularity on the internet, even if it's literally a felony.
Lick it. Oh, you foul. Put it back. Oh, you're a hoe?
So like I said, this started circulating. A lot of people were like, oh, this is funny. But then the more serious concerns started getting brought out. A lot of it, people just being like, well, that's just absolutely disgusting. What's wrong with you? Then you got like some adult ass people doing it, like Shelly here. And we'll get back to Shelly in a second, but you started to get a lot of, copycats, and then you started getting people trying to claim ownership of the incident. So there was actually a catfish that had a similar screen name to the person who had originally posted the video, and then they said, yeah, I really did that. You can call it Flu Bell ice cream now because I was a little sick last week. Repost yourself doing it. Let's see if we can start an epidemic, literally. Now, luckily, that was a catfish account, somebody exaggerating, but the comments were born out of a genuine concern. If this person had any kind of illness, even if it was just like a bug in the system that hadn't quite proliferated yet, or just the fact that you have different germs, you can pass those germs on to other people. And you might be like, oh, well, it would suck. Someone might get a cold, a little bit of a flu. It would be disgusting and gross, but there are a lot of immune-compromised people out there. There are people who have cancer. There are people who are just born with compromised immune systems, have a wide variety of illnesses and diseases that make it so that their immune system does not work correctly. It's the same kind of reasons why herd immunity is very important when it comes to vaccinations, because there are some people who medically cannot get vaccines. You end up with people that are immune compromised and will die from things that would normally just inconvenience the average person. On top of that, you have children who might not be able to withstand some of these illnesses, and elderly people who are also unable to withstand some of these illnesses. Very minor problems to an adult or, a healthy teen and child would very quickly kill a senior citizen with, ailing health concerns. And that's where this becomes really serious, because add in the fact that a lot of people who deal with problems like this oftentimes have trouble eating food, and ice cream is often what they turn to because it is filling and very, very easy to consume in a variety of different ways. This is very literally be considered a biological crime. So it was rightfully being treated very seriously. So for all the people that were like, oh, this is just really, it's gross, but it's pretty basic, it ain't causing no harm. And if anything, this is more serious than the weird ass Tide Pod epidemic, because at least those people were only hurting themselves. These people are running the risk of actually killing other people. And obviously, in terms of like tampering with things in stores, that's always been something that's been taken very, very seriously, especially when you go back, I believe it was like the early 80s with the Tylenol killer. People take messing with food quite seriously, and unfortunately the way that ice cream is made, there isn't a protective layer. It can be pretty obvious when you're taking off the cover, or if something's been tampered with, you can tell. But honestly, sometimes you might not be able to, or you might not be paying attention to that. And sometimes the way that things refreeze, you might not even notice that anything had happened to the top of the ice cream if you purchased it. So it's super messed up. So luckily we did get the update that they figured out who it was. Obviously the ice cream company itself, Blue Bell Creameries, took it very, very seriously, saying it wouldn't be tolerated. They were obviously encouraging people not to recommit the act, even though you did get people here like Shelly on Instagram, Shelly Golden, who posted it, and she a grown-ass woman. We'll get back to the original person who committed the crime in a second here, but this is a grown-ass woman, so she did end up saying, let me be clear, I bought and took home the ice cream I licked. So she knows she messed up, and she's now just trying to, like, really cover her ass. I do believe that she bought the ice cream afterwards, but it doesn't matter if you put it out there as if you did it, and don't immediately say, like, or in the same video go back and be like, psych, I'm not a monster, and show that you're buying it. You're just encouraging people to actually do it, especially young people who don't think about things like major health concerns and the fact that you could unwittingly kill somebody. Like, the chances are it's just gonna go to some parent and then nothing bad will happen. It'll be gross, but there is a very real possibility that somebody could eat that, get very sick, and die. It's a factual thing, and that's why it's being taken so seriously. So now we're going to get to the person who did commit the crime. So because they are 17, their name is not being released. Now, this is where a lot of people are kind of getting more, like, there's more of a conflict in terms of how the situation is being dealt with. So they managed to identify the individual in the video because due to certain, the way that the store was laid out, they were able to figure out that it was Walmart. They were able to figure out which Walmart it was. Then they were able to use security stuff, interview people that were there, and they got right back down to the person who had committed the crime. So her name is not being released publicly, obviously, because she is a minor, but because tampering with a consumer product is a second-degree felony in Texas, she could face up to 20 years in prison. But since she's a juvenile, it's being turned over to the Texas Juvenile Justice Department. It is unlikely that she will face that full crime. Literally 1 year. 1 year saved her from literally staring down the barrel of a 20-year sentence. There's a really good chance that this is going to get turned over there and they'll be pretty strict on her. But I think they really want to stress the fact that it's like, this is a very serious crime. These are the things that could happen if you do it, and not just to other people. If you really are just so insensitive that you don't give a damn about other people and their well-being, these are all the ways that it could affect you. 20 years of your life in prison for taking a quick little lick of ice cream and putting it back in a freezer. So I don't know what's going to happen to her. She is definitely going to be facing some sort of crime. I'm sure they're going to make some kind of example out of her to make sure she really understands. Luckily, the Walmart is pretty sure that they not only just removed all the ice cream of that flavor from the brand, but they're also pretty sure they have the exact container that she tampered with, just because it's like, it's very obvious that it had been opened, and, you know, they can see kind of that it looks like that is what happened to it because they acted in this situation so quickly. So not only did they remove it, they are pretty sure that they got to that tub of ice cream before anybody managed to buy it. Obviously, if you bought that flavor of ice cream from that location, and again, that location is specifically... So basically, if you live in Lufkin, Texas, and we're at a Walmart and bought Tin Roof flavor half gallons in probably just, in the last week, maybe just chuck it. If you've already eaten a lot of it, it's probably too late. But they are, like I said, they are pretty sure that they got the exact tub, so nobody was really affected by this. Luckily, but a lot of people were like, wow, 20 years, that's way too intense for this crime, even if it was an adult. But again, we are now looking into the fact that you were tampering with a consumer product for consumption. That is very serious. Like I said, it could quite literally result in the death of someone, and they might not even know what happened or how it happened. It's super messed up and definitely not something to be taken lightly. I do think that kids do stupid things without thinking about it, and they think things are funny, so this is a pretty good wake-up call and educational moment. Sadly, school is out currently, so we can't just spread that message to more people, but this is a super messed up situation. It's not funny. It's not something that should be encouraged. Like, people do all sorts of stupid shit for attention and for trends and clout or whatever else you want to say, but this is, don't do this. Don't do it this way. If even just for self-preservation, this is dumb as shit. This is basically like the consumer version of throwing a rock off of an overpass. You might do no damage, nothing might happen, you might just mess up someone's car, or you could kill somebody. Those are the odds you're playing with, and it's not worth it for, like, anybody involved. So that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comment section down below. Do you think that 20 years is too much, even if it was an adult? What do you think her sentencing should be? I'm assuming she's probably just going to get a lot of community service, probably some kind of, she might get a little bit of time and it might stay on her permanent record for a while. I guess we'll have to see what happens. They're also looking into the boyfriend who had filmed it to see if they can charge him for any kind of, like, you know, involvement in the situation more so than just being there filming. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you all later. Keep an eye out for ice cream tampering. Apparently it's very obvious when the container's been opened, so be vigilant.